Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Whew. Stephanie Zima here. Walk It Free. I am a transformation coach and I am a mentor and I am a lot of different things for people. So I empower people to set what I do. And today and this whole week is about Fight Week. Okay. It's about talking about these things that hold people back. And right now, I mean, look at it. Look at the stats, right? I have to read this to you. Anxiety disorders, the most common category of mental health disorders in America, impacts approximately 40 million under 18 and older. My word, you guys. When you think about it, anxiety, right? Bear with me for a second. Imagine there's this person who sits on the bathroom floor or lays on the bathroom floor and completely in distress, really worries about financial situations, about the bills that are popping up, about the fact that you don't have a job, you know, and then what are people thinking about me and how am I going to get this done? And like there's so many things that every single person worries about, right? All over the place. And what do we do? We are finding social media, we are looking for solutions, we are scrolling, and what do we find, guys? I have a couple of things that I've printed out because I really want to have a conversation about it. I want to talk about this. So Mel Robbins, which we all love Mel Robbins, right? I love her so much. She's an amazing, amazing motivational speaker, an amazing person to follow. But however, so she says here, love your effing life. Take pictures of everything. Tell people you love them. Talk to random strangers. Do things you're scared to do. F it. Because so many of us die and no one remembers a thing we did. Take your life and make it the best story in your world. Don't waste it. Shh. Right? She's so right. But I want to take it a step back. The majority of people, and as I said, 40 million people are stuck in anxiety disorders, you guys. And when I say anxiety disorders, I'm not even talking about the people who have like literally been diagnosed or are under medication or anything. I mean, this is just anyone. This is stay-at-home moms who are having to integrate back into workforce and are having extreme anxiety as to how to even make this happen. How do I come from wiping butts and picking up groceries from the grocery store back into a working life? How do I even get the mental capacity to retain information, right? I mean, anyone who has been a stay-at-home mom or who still is a stay-at-home mom knows exactly what I'm talking about. This stuff is anxiety provoking. This is hard stuff. Yet somehow we are supposed to all have this figured out. Somehow we all supposed to be, it's easy, right? And then we have this guilt trip. We're listening to this guilt trip on the other side, like, oh yeah, we should be enjoying our life. But what if we don't have money to enjoy our life? Boom, we're gonna be jolted right back into another anxiety provoking spiral down. So that's that, right? So then we're looking for other people and we are on social media and now we are like looking at Sally next door, who is gonna be like, going on a gazillionth vacation again or having like the best win and breakthrough in her business, or and boom, we're gonna worry again. Is it us? Is it meant to be us? Are we the right people? Are we having the right marriage? Are we having the right kids? Why is nothing like this working for me? How is this happening that this is not, you know and that is the start, my friends. And it doesn't matter where you're looking at. You can look at any kind of situation. You can worry about financials, you can worry about relationships, you can worry about your home life, you can worry about finding a job, you can worry about where you live, you can worry about it all, everywhere it is. Okay? And that is the reality, and that is the reason why we try to search and hang on to things that are making us feel better, such as scrolling mindlessly on TikTok, laughing about these little funny dog videos or the dance movies, or the the cat videos. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but those are the moments where we are like completely, our mind goes blank, and all we are doing is just finding short reliefs of the anxiety. Okay. This week, however, is about fighting back. And how do you fight back? You don't fight back by sitting back and numbing or buffering, or call it whatever you want, your emotions, right? Last week we talked a little bit about emotions. If you have not seen any of those videos, go onto my YouTube. It's free, guys. Subscribe to that. This is building a library of personal development, because I am on a mission. I am on a mission to help people walk it free. There are so many people in pain, and so many do not know how to take a step, okay? How to take one step. Because what happens? We are bombarded everywhere we're going. We're bombarded with tip this, do this, how about this, how about this? And then what is if we have so much anxiety? What happens if we can't make it happen? If we just struggle? If we really, really just sit there on the bathroom floor and say, it is all too much and I cannot even think straight anymore? Okay? What then? How are we going to make this happen? How can we make this happen? So I have another thing that I wanted to talk about for a second. I said today, hang on, let me just pull this up again. I said today in my post, okay, and I'm going to read you guys this really quickly, because I announced that it's fighting back. So fighting back, it's fight week, right? We are fighting back, fighting for our happiness, fighting for our health, and fighting for our legacies. We all have different reasons why we hang out here. Some of us just want to be happy. So some of us just want to be seen. Some of us just want to gain a friend or two. We have needs we need to fulfill, right? Some of us are fighting for our health. We are on health journeys. We are trying to better ourselves. We're trying to get out of pain. We're trying to just, some of us fighting cancer. Some of us are fighting diabetes. Some of us are fighting menopause. We have health issues. We have chronic inflammations. We have things we're fighting about. And some of us are literally fighting for legacies. Some of us are trying to create a business, a legacy business that will not only help our retirement in the future, but some of us are trying to also provide for our children, and some of us are even just simply trying to survive today, trying to put groceries on the table. Okay, so whatever it is that you are fighting for, you need to understand that you do not win by numbing out your emotions, by sitting back and letting anxiety win. You have to make a decision that you're going to fight, that you're going to fight back, and that you're going to not ever, no matter what spot you in, that you are going to win one way or another. You have to understand that even if you do not have money to invest in a mentor or coach or whatever, you can still win today. You can make a step. You can take a step. There's tons of free information out there that you can do. Okay, so anyone who knows me really knows that I never give up. Okay, I never give up. I have setbacks, tons and tons and tons of setbacks all the time. I wouldn't be human if I wouldn't have setbacks. Right? I mean, it's like I've gone through divorce, I've gone through grief and losing a parent, and I've gone through single mommying by myself many times. I moved countries. I started over with a suitcase so many times I can't even probably do it in my sleep again. I mean, not gonna lie, I can probably build whole new friend circles and communities in a matter of like weeks, right? And I am not afraid of being alone, because I've been alone for so many times. But you know what I've also learned, okay? And this is what I want to tell you. I've also learned how to be my best friend. I have also learned how to fight for myself. And I have also learned how to sort humans in my circle. And I have also learned how to get along with people who I'm not necessarily getting and needing to get along with, just because they are there. Okay, and that's what it is. So I saw another post today from Brandon Burchard, who's a high performance coach, and I'm like, I follow him for a long time because I really like, he helped a lot with my development as well. And one of his posts today was, first is an intention, then is a behavior, then a habit, then a practice, then a second nature, then is simply who you are. And that described exactly what it is that I've gone through over the last period of 6 years, right? And this is what I want to lead the people who are walking it free with me through. I want them to see, first we need to set an intention, okay? Any fight back starts with setting the intention. Setting the intention of getting started, setting the intentions that enough is enough. No more bathroom floor, no more letting your anxiety being sweeping you off the floor, okay, and whatever. It doesn't matter where your starting point is. It doesn't matter if you have money in the bank, if you have tons and tons of credit card debt. It doesn't matter if you have no and zero friends. It doesn't matter if you have nothing, okay? If you're watching this, you are blessed. If you're watching this, you have a phone, a computer, or some kind of mean of social media, you are blessed. Okay? And it starts with an intention to fight back. It starts with an intention to say, you know what? I'm going to do this. Okay? I'm going to do this. I started setting this mission. I'm going to get people what they need. Why? Because there's so many who don't have what they need. But needing something is different for everybody. Some people need food on their tables. Some people need $1,000 to pay for their children's extracurricular activities, or maybe somebody needs money to go on a vacation that they want. Maybe people need money to go to visit their family who is living overseas. Okay, some people need a relationship. Some people need a friend. There's so many different reasons why we need something, okay? But when you think about it, the system is all the same. We have a lack of something that spins us in the anxiety that 40 million adults are dealing with. Now think this through, guys, okay? Think this through. Why do I want to help people to walk it free? If 40 million people have anxiety disorders, I want you to think a minute. Those 40 million adults probably have a bunch of children, right? So those 40 million people have a bunch of children, and the bunch of children are growing up with a whole bunch of very, very unstable adults. Now, where does anxiety come from? Anxiety comes really from feeling of not being in control, feeling that you're floating somehow, right? You're floating in the air. You have no control. We humans, we have a need for certainty. We need to be certain of something. Well, how can you be certain? You have a job. You don't know if you're going to be fired next day. You don't know if you're going to get sick next day. You don't know how you are going to make anything happen. How can you be certain of anything, right? So that's why we all like, we have no boundaries. Our parents didn't give us any boundaries. We got to do and decide whatever we wanted to do. Well, guys, wake up call. Please, wake up call. Knock, knock. If you have no boundaries, if you don't know where your limits are, you are also breeding anxiety, because people and humans need to know, where am I going? What am I dealing with? Who am I? All these questions, they come from having some kind of a boundary. Now, I'm not talking about rigid boundaries or anything. I'm talking about just kind of like I always describe it in my coachings. I describe it like, you imagine yourself being on a pasture. Right? Big pasture. And then in that pasture, there's a rubber fence around it. And so you can kind of like, and I did this even with my children, right? This is how I raise them. Like, they're playing on the field, and then sometimes they get into the boundary, right? And when they get into the boundary, it's not a fall off kind of boundary. It's like a, wait a minute, hang on a second, like, wait, hang on a second, boundary over here, boundary over here. Nope, that we're gonna go on to here and no further. The reason why that is because boundaries actually keep you safe. Well, none of us have boundaries, right? We can do whatever we want. It's encouraged to be online for a long time. It's encouraged, to numb out our feelings and not worry about that part of it. But, spins us all into anxiety. Long story short, okay, we have to learn again how to live life. Because if we adults do not take responsibility to learn how to get our anxiety under control and fight back, guys, what's going to happen to our children? Have you ever thought about this? What's going to happen to our children? What kind of world are they growing up in? If we don't learn how to provide and find what we need ourselves, growing ourselves up to actually finding what we need and making it happen for ourselves, what world are our children going to be in? Okay, right now you see a lot of people fighting for, actually literally fighting, okay? You're driving on the street and people cutting you off and, all the stuff, they're fighting back. This is because they're in pain, guys. Okay, they're in pain. People are in pain. And I can't stop. And the more I think about this mission, right, to helping people get what they need, the more passion I get, the stronger I get, because I can do this. Now, how can you provide people what they need? So first needs to come the intention. You need to have an intention. You need to say, I'm going to fight back. I want to make something else for my life, right? Then comes a behavior. Okay, so you have to double check your behavior. What is happening? What is causing you to feel a certain way? Now, if you are laying on the bathroom floor worrying about your finances, for example, what do you do to pay attention to your finances? What do you do? What kind of behaviors are going in this? And finances is just something that so many people are worrying about. And so this is why I'm picking it, right? That's why I'm picking it. Finances, bills, paying bills, all those things, credit card debt. I mean, this is where people have a lot of anxiety, especially in a recession right now. Now, how are you dealing with this? Most people, I guarantee you, most people are like going like this and like not even taking a look at it, because money causes a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of all of it. But the truth is, if you're not focusing on it, it's not going to show. The money is not going to come. Actually, you're going to lose more money. No matter if you have credit card bills or not, you're going to have to pay attention to it. You're going to have to take a look at it. You're going to have to see, where am I shopping? What money am I spending? Okay, where am I making things happening? Where I'm not making things happening? Am I creating income to come in? If not, why not? Okay, if I'm not creating extra income to come in, why not? So we need to have the intention, then we need to check our behaviors, guys. And once we have a behavior, we can make it a habit, okay? So for example, like super little things like that. You want to make sure you do not have late payments on your credit cards. Well, why don't you spend 5 minutes every single day to make sure your online banking is on track? Maybe you double check every single day, what did I spend today? Right? How much money did I spend today? And was it really needed? Was it really necessary? Now, I hear many times, oh, I don't have money for mentorship, or oh, I don't have money for this. Yet we are 100% having money to go to Target and spending money on what makes us feel good in the moment. And this is the problem, friends. We have been so used to instant gratification. Boom, these little dopamine hits, right? The boom, boom, boom. We get dopamine hits from social media likes. We get dopamine hits from those little puppies like we are seeing on TikTok. We are getting dopamine hits when we are taking a look at the pretty things that we just going to put in our house. And what we forget, friends, is the anxiety all this stuff is going to give us. And how many steps it's going to take us further down from the goals that we had originally set. Okay? But we have to understand that we need to set the goals, okay? We need to set the goals. We need to we have to take a look at our behaviors. Why are we doing it? Passionately, gracefully. Why are we doing that? Chances are we're doing it because we're hurting, okay? We need to heal what we're hurting. We need to practice too, okay? Most of us are deciding, I'm gonna do this new thing. Let's go. I'm gonna do this new thing. Yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this time. Day 1, day 2, off the wagon. Day 1, day 2, off the wagon. We have May. Today is May. May 1st. Almost 6 months into this year. Think about it. June is already 6 months. Half of 2023 is done then. Have you done all the things that you wanted to do in January? Have you even started? Or have you fallen off the wagon 50,000 times? Having self-doubt is something is a problem, right? Having self-doubt. Worries not being good enough. Worries about not being a good person. Worries about not knowing enough. Worries about... Have you ever checked your paradigms? What do you believe about yourself? Check the lead magnet, please. Go and check your paradigm. I'm going to drop it in the comments over here, and on Instagram it's in my bio. Check it. Take a look at those things. Okay? You have to take a look at those things. You've got to understand, what is your paradigm? What impact does it have on your anxiety? What impact does it have on your life, on your rhythms, on your behaviors, on your patterns, on your success, on your outcome? What does it have? What impact, right? Are you practicing it? Are you applying grace to yourself? Are you patient with yourself? Okay? When you practice something, it becomes second nature, right? You have to have your attention. You have to check your behavior. You have to make it a habit. You have to keep practicing it. And then it becomes simply who you are. It becomes who you are. When we don't have accountability, however, and it doesn't matter which one of the goals, if it's financially, if it's health, if it's business, it doesn't matter. If we do not have the accountability, if we do not have this person who believes in it more than we do, if we do not have that, and it can be anybody, it can be your friend, it can be your mother, it can be your father, it can be your husband, it can be your wife, it can be your coach, it can be anyone, but you have to have accountability. Guys, in the very beginning, I had no accountability. I had nobody showing up, and I was trying to figure out, like, oh my gosh, I'm this victim, you know. You know what I did? I made social media my accountability partner. I made all of you guys my accountability partners, because I had nobody checking up on me. I was always a strong one, okay? But I didn't want to quit. I was fighting. I was not going to quit. I was not going to surrender on my dreams, on my goals, no matter what. And I'm still not. And there's obstacles. And guess what, guys? Get used to it, because no matter what mountain you are on, there will always be obstacles. There will always be the next staircase. You're gonna grow something, and you're gonna come up to the next. You've got to learn how to enjoy the journey in between, right? And how to get after it. And as Mel Robbins had said, and I printed it, right? F it, because so many of us die and no one remembers a thing we did. Isn't that the truth? Ask your friends. What did I do last week? Do you remember? Do you remember? Most cannot even tell you what I did yesterday. It's true. We worry about them. We worry and have anxiety about what other people are thinking about us. Guess what? They do not remember you. They do not know. There's actually 2 generations down the road, you don't even remember what they did. Maybe you remember your grandparents. Maybe you remember even your great-grandparents. Do you remember anyone else other than that? No. You're probably not. Okay? And that's the truth, friends. When we deal with the anxiety literally is only because you have no certainty. But when I want to tell you, you can create certainty with these steps, having a progress goal. You become aware, you have your intention, you become aware where you are, you have become aware where you want to go. You're going to have your mile markers in between, and you track your progress. You track your progress and you kind of move through. You're going to figure out, how do I feel in between? How do I feel here? How do I feel with that when I do this? Is it going to cause me relief, or is it going to cause me more anxiety? Which way is it? Which way am I going to go? Sometimes we're supposed to be dreaming up things and we don't even know what we want, because how can you know what you want if you never try something? If you're stuck in front of your TV, how are you even knowing what you want? I spent all last year traveling like crazy. I know, it was crazy. I traveled and traveled, and you know why I traveled so much? I traveled because I needed to see, what do I even like? What did I want? Do I like to do this? Do I like to be adventurous? Do I like to be safe at home? Do I like, being alone out in the middle of nowhere? Do I like people? What do I like? It's important, guys. It's important. It's important to enjoy where you are right now. But if you are having so much anxiety because you have no certainty, you need to create certainty. When you have a financial anxiety, you need to know that you're getting closer to your goal because you're actually putting in a daily action. You're going to the mailbox, you're getting your bills, and you're putting them in every single day, and you're focusing on what you're spending, right? And you're focusing on, do I spend money that creates more financial wealth for me, or more, things, or do I create more debt? What am I spending money on? What am I focusing on? Why does it feel uncomfortable to do it? Think about this. Why does it feel uncomfortable? It feels uncomfortable because you feel like you have no control. Why do I think I don't have control? When there's a lot of different things and options that you could do to create more control, right? You need to do that. You need to do that, guys. You need to decide. You need to fight back. 40 million adults deal with anxiety every single day, when in fact it could be so simple of identifying, what is it that I'm feeling anxious about? What do I need to do to get out of that feeling? And then find yourself somebody who is more believing in you and who is also invested into your progress, and into your accountability, and then take a step. It doesn't have to be a big step. It has to be a step. But it can't be the step to the TV to numb out your emotions. It cannot be the step to the refrigerator to eat something. It cannot be that step. It has to be the step that gets you closer to where you want to go, right? That's what then creates the certainty that if you do, see, everybody knows this. Let's talk about the health for a second. Hello. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Day. Nice to meet you. Thanks for watching. So certainty comes from knowing that if you do the same things over and over and over again, you are going to have this outcome. So for example, in the health, right? If you know that you work out every single day, you know that you're going to build muscle, right? You know that you are going to build muscle. That's just what it is. If you lift something every single day, your body is going to produce muscle. That's it. It's a fact. It's a fact. That's how it is, right? Now, if you don't work out every single day, your muscles are going to disappear. Right? I mean, now those are facts. So that is certainty, you guys. That proves that if you are focused on lifting something, you are going to get a result. If you are not doing it, right, then you are, hi to India, then you know that that's the result that you're going to get from there. Okay? That's it. So you have to pick what is it that you want to be certain of. Now, many of us who deal with anxiety, we choose to buffer in those emotions with TV. But here's the reality. Once we do that, yeah, we are very certain that we're going to get that result of feeling good for the moment. But you can also be certain that you're going to have that anxious feeling later on. Okay? So changing and flipping that script, flipping that mindset is what's really important. Okay, I hope you guys, you're going to join me for the rest of this week, because I am going to keep talking about fighting back, ways of fighting back, in the hope to help you guys to walk it free, right? And that's not for you to buy something from me. I mean, yes, if you want mentorship, great, I'm here for you. That's fine. But this is for you to understand that you should not be one of the 40 million people who are dealing with anxiety. You have options today, and it doesn't matter of your financials, it doesn't matter what it is, you have options today. There's so many free resources you can use. Okay? And I'm here to inspire you to do that. So if you found this valuable, please do me a favor, share it out, let other people know about it, tag people if you feel like they need to, and then make sure you are hopping onto my YouTube channel to see all the other videos that I've done. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.